Now at 10, the Joplin Police Department mourns the death of a former officer. Plus, Pitt State renews a partnership to provide resources for victims of sexual and domestic assault. And a Joplin man who grew up in an orphanage and has lost a leg is writing his life story into a book.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Another tragedy for the Joplin Police Department as a former officer passes away from a heart attack. This is KOAM News at 10. The department today announced the passing of former officer Mike Gaiman. Officials say Gaiman suffered a heart attack at the gym last Friday and was rushed to the hospital but did not survive. A police honor escort tonight moved along 171 in Webb City as Gaiman's body was transported to a funeral home. Officer Gaiman joined the JPD in 1999, retired in 2019. A short while later, he returned to the city as an airport police officer. He also worked for the Tulsa County Sheriff's Office before coming to Joplin. Victims of domestic and sexual abuse at Pitt State will now have easier access to help. After PSU's full-time campus-based advocate left, Pitt State and Safe House signed a new partnership, agreeing that Safe House will collaborate with PSU to provide a full range of services to students and staff. Those services include going to court with victims and assisting them through the Title IX process.
We hope to start being on the university to provide any education. So maybe talking to some faculty members about Safe House and what we do here and how to get a hold of us after hours and what services we provide.
All services Safe House provides are free and confidential. The Miami, Oklahoma Public Utility is adding a new charge to customers' electric bills to pay back money owed stemming from last year's February freeze. That charge, labeled PCAX, stands for Power Cost Adjustment. This is an example of a bill with the charge. Officials say it'll cost customers about $4 to $6 per month, depending on usage. The new charge will be added to bills starting in June and will likely last for 3 to 4 years. Officials expect that'll be enough to pay back the $2.7 million owed to the GRDA for power used during that winter storm. Some Kansas healthcare workers who worked on the front lines during the pandemic will get a bonus. Governor Laura Kelly today announced $51 million would be distributed to Medicaid home and community-based services providers beginning in June of this year. Bonuses will benefit about 24,000 direct support workers in the state. Each care worker could receive up to a $2,000 bonus. Additionally, as an incentive to bring more direct support workers to the field, agencies will receive $1,500 per new staff for a recruitment bonus. The bonus payments are available through the American Rescue Plan Act, signed into law in March of 2021. McDonald County School District officials say construction on some storm shelter projects will start soon after voters yesterday approved a $21 million bond. It'll fund storm shelters at 6 of the district's campuses. Officials say these are not FEMA shelters, but they are strong enough to withstand a tornado. They'll be open to the community in an emergency. Officials also say they won't just be safe rooms. They'll have purposes as well for other things like gymnasiums and weight rooms.
Because it shows that the community understands the value of the education that McDonald County Schools is giving their kids, as well as the safety aspect of making sure that kids have a safe place and that staff have a safe place in case something does happen.
While some of the smaller projects funded by this bond will begin soon, the larger ones will be up for bids before work starts. It's chilly and still windy out there, Doug Heddy.
It is. The winds have died down just a smidge since what we had earlier today. It's going to stay windy all night and then again really over the next couple days. Temps today right where we should be, mid-60s, started at 46 during the morning hours, have been kind of in and out of the clouds all afternoon into the evening hours. Any of these showers that you see popping up never even reached the ground. We're just too dry at the surface, but we are going to be in and out of the clouds tonight, and actually clouds increase tomorrow as we still have this big storm system slowly passing by, which it'll take its time. over the next couple days. All right, northern counties, we're down into the 40s. Everybody else still holding on to the 50s. I think most of us will drop back kind of in that 38 to 40 degree range a little bit later on tonight. But the winds, it's been an issue. It's still windy, 10 to 20, but gusts over 30 miles per hour. We do have some thunderstorms in the forecast. We're going to look at that here in just a bit too.
We'll see you then. More local kids now have reliable internet access. U.S. Cellular today donated 35 internet hotspots and 2 years of service to the Boys and Girls Club of Southwest Missouri. It's part of the company's after-school access project designed to close what they called the homework gap among low-income families.
One of the cool things that's actually because of the after-school access project that we are supporting is we are offering to sponsor up to 50,000 youth within our market footprint to continue to help those youths that need access to any type of home internet.
Officials say the donation is valued at nearly $37,000. Joplin resident Jimmy Davis is writing a book, spinning the story of what most would consider a rough life into something positive. KOAM's Jalen Banks has more.
July 24th, 2020 marks the day that Joplin's own Jimmy Davis's life changed forever. On that day, Jimmy became an amputee, losing his right leg. He then went to Facebook using it as an outlet to talk about his experiences. While on there, he got some encouragement from friends.
I lost my leg, and I got thinking I started telling people on Facebook about all my experiences through my childhood of being raised in an orphanage and different things that happened to me during my life. And so they said, write a book. So I wrote a book.
That is when he discovered his love and talent for writing poems.
God's provided me a means of using what I didn't know was a talent in my life. And now it became a talent, and I'm able to write poems. I was able to write stories.
In the process of writing the book, he made a friend. Kirsten Humphrey has been the help for Jimmy putting the book together. Or as Jimmy likes to call her, his ghostwriter.
So it's really not been that hard with his work because he has everything all written out and the way he wants it. It's just been making small changes to fit the way of writing, but it's really just his own words, and I'm just putting it in print for him. So it's been pretty easy to just take what he's given me and turn it into the book.
Tales, short stories, and poems of the one-legged hippie will be the title of the book, a title Jimmy believes sums up his life. He's decided to take the hardships of being an orphan and becoming an amputee and turn it into a story of triumph. In Joplin, Jalen Banks, KOAM News.
That book is slated to be released next month. Coming up, gas and oil executives testified before Congress about the record high fuel prices. Plus, the Biden administration announces new sanctions against Russia and members of that country's first family. Oil executives appeared before a House committee today for the second time in 6 months to discuss rising gas prices. AAA says the national average for a gallon of gas is now $4.16. That's up $1.29 from a year ago. House Democrats are blaming the industry for skyrocketing prices, citing the record profits of some oil and gas companies. Republicans squarely blame the White House's, quote, anti-American energy policies like shuttering the Keystone Pipeline. Oil executives testified they have no control over the markets. As international outrage intensifies over apparent Russian atrocities in Ukraine, the U.S. and Western allies today announced a new wave of financial punishment against the Kremlin. Reporter Natalie Brand has more from the White House.
The mayor of Mariupol estimates more than 5,000 people have been killed by Russia's relentless bombardments in the southern port city, and he accused Russian troops of using mobile crematoriums to burn bodies to cover up war crimes. Outside Ukraine's capital of Kyiv, authorities are gathering the dead and evidence of atrocities left behind in suburbs, including Bucha, before Russia's troops retreated.
Responsible nations have to come together to hold these perpetrators accountable.
On Wednesday, the U.S. and its allies unveiled new sanctions against Russia in response to the escalating brutality. The new sanctions in part target Russian President Vladimir Putin's adult children, Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov's wife and daughter, and Russian Security Council officials.
Just in 1 year, our sanctions are likely to wipe out the last 15 years of Russia's economic gains.
The Biden administration is also sending an additional $100 million worth of Javelin anti-tank missiles to Ukraine, bringing the total amount of security assistance to the country to $1.7 billion since the war began.
The Ukrainians are bravely fighting for their country, and they have denied Mr. Putin so many of his strategic objectives.
The Pentagon and defense analysts assess that Russian forces are resupplying and preparing for renewed battle in Ukraine's eastern Donbass region. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
The Biden administration is also sanctioning Russia's largest financial institution, and the president is signing an executive order banning new investment in Russia. And for the first time since the invasion, the Department of Justice announced criminal charges against a Russian oligarch for violating previous sanctions. An international panel of experts released new recommendations to counteract school-related sedentary behavior. They include movement breaks at least once every half hour for children ages 5 through 11 and at least once an hour for children 12 through 18. More home buyers are getting priced out of the mortgage market as interest rates continue to climb. Mortgage applications fell 6% compared to the previous week, and they're down 41% from this time last year. The 30-year fixed rate mortgage now averages 4.9%. A little bit later, a Southeast Kansas high school gives students a chance to see what career options are available to them.
Plus, it looks like temps a little bit cooler over the next couple days. We're going to check that out coming up. Well, it turned out to be a pretty decent Wednesday for us today. A little bit on the breezy side. Winds gusting 40 to 50 at times, and we are going to cool down just a bit as we go into the next couple days. Mainly, we're looking at highs into the 50s tomorrow and also on Friday. However, we rebound for the weekend. The weekend looks pretty good. Thunderstorm chances increase by late Sunday and a good chunk of next week. Of course, you can get my long-range forecast on my month-long blog. That is KOAMnewsnow.com. Nice shot. This is Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Of course, Indigo just outside of Seneca, Missouri, kind of in and out of the clouds. Temperatures across the region, most of us into the 50s. We have dropped into the upper 40s in our northern counties. I think most of us will kind of fall in that 38 to 40 degree range for us later on tonight. Look at the winds, strong northwesterly winds all day long, still at about 10 to 20 sustained winds. Then you can check out the gusts, and we're still even getting winds gusting 30 upwards to 40 miles per hour at times. So it's going to stay windy as we go through the overnight hours. 7th range line currently outside sitting at 53. Humidity starting to creep up just a little bit at 47%, kind of in and out of the clouds during the afternoon into the evening. Can see some spotty little showers out there, which we're not reaching the ground, just too dry at the surface. But we're still watching the back side of this storm system, taking its good old sweet time moving out of here. It's kind of centered right about Madison, Wisconsin, and slowly going to push to the south and to the east. Now, because we're on the back side, it kind of ushers in cooler air and a lot of clouds, random sprinkles or showers over the next couple days. Let's step through time. We drop back through the 40s, 38 to 40. Later on tonight, kind of in and out of the clouds. As we go into the morning hours tomorrow, clouds will start to increase. A cooler day, we only stay into the mid 50s, and you can see a few random little spotty sprinkles, maybe a random shower. Here's your forecast for you. We're going to start at 38, 52 by noon. High temp right around 56. Still windy, northerly winds at about 10 to 20. Still a lot of clouds tomorrow night. Again, a random sprinkle, and then by Friday morning, may even get a few random little snow flurries or light little snow showers mixed in with a few showers. And then finally, this system starts to push east by Friday evening. However, we clear out, temperatures tank, so that means we're going to have a pretty good freeze Friday night into Saturday morning. We also still have to deal with the winds over the next couple days. Winds are going to be gusting again tomorrow, kind of 30 upwards to 40, maybe just a little bit less than what we did see today. As we go into the weekend, we do see improvements. 60s return Saturday, 70s return on Sunday, but we got to watch for thunderstorms late Sunday into Sunday night. Some of those could be strong, possibly severe, so we need to watch for that as we go into the weekend. We also have a severe threat on Tuesday and Wednesday. Doesn't scream severe weather, but still a threat that we need to watch. The threat that really screams severe weather is April 21st, about 2 weeks away, a little over 2 weeks away. 56 tomorrow, 51 on Friday, 60s Saturday, 70s on Sunday.
So we'll be watching it for a while, and we will circle April 21st on the calendar.
Yeah, 21st or 2nd.
All right. Thanks, Doug.
Yep.
Area businesses and entrepreneurs came together in Joplin for coffee to celebrate the first anniversary of the 1 Million Cups program. It's a national program to engage, educate, and connect entrepreneurs. Some of the local businesses talked about what they do and how they want to grow in the year ahead.
So when you think about being an entrepreneur, it's sort of a lonely journey. And when you have other entrepreneurs who get together on a weekly basis, it really provides a support network for you.
1 Million Cups works with 160 communities nationwide, holding weekly meetings with businesses. Some local students learned about possible career options. Riverton, Kansas High School hosted a career fair and business expo. Local experts, including barbers, law enforcement officers, and construction workers, had booths. They also hosted presentations and demonstrations inside classrooms.
I'm going to Northeastern State University to play football there on a football scholarship, and I'm going to major in business probably. Take apart cars, fix them, build them, race cars, whatever field I can get into, really.
The Riverton Fire Department also brought a fire engine to the school for students to get a close-up look. Still ahead, we're going to hear from Missouri Southern's new men's basketball coach following his introduction this afternoon. And a pair of games go down to the wire at the Bill O'Dell tournament in Carthage. Jacob Leonard has that and more next.
Missouri Southern introduces its next men's basketball head coach today. The school held a press conference this afternoon to introduce Sam McMahon as the new leader of the program. Now, McMahon is the 7th head coach in Missouri Southern men's basketball history. He spent the last 2 seasons as an assistant coach at Southeast Missouri State, but before that, he was an assistant and associate head coach for the Lions from 2014 to 2020. Now here's McMahon on what drew him back to Joplin to lead the Lions.
Everybody talks about the facilities good, the gym, but it's about the people. Really great people here, and I'm excited to get to work with them. And I just have a lot of friends in the area. My wife's from an hour away in Springfield, and so it's just, I feel like I went to school here. And so I always wanted to get back.
When you're separating between a lot of really good candidates, you don't want somebody that's just looking for a job or a head coaching job in the MIAA. You want somebody that wants this job. And that obviously resonated with Sam and was something that's shown through in every conversation that we had.
The Bill O'Dell baseball tournament continues today in Carthage. There are 2 games on the schedule tonight, including the hometown Tigers facing Monette. Carthage looking to go 2-0 in pool play after rolling by Seneca on Monday. Monette's got the lead here. Alex Huntress extends that lead, gets a shallow hit to center. 2 runners score for the Cubs. Makes it 5-2, but then Parker Copeland, big 2-out hit for Carthage. Knocks it off the wall in right. 2 Tigers come across home plate. Copeland safely into third for the triple. Now later, we're all tied up. Josh Wallace goes deep here. Monette takes back a 2-run lead. With that, it is 8-6, but Carthage keeps fighting. 6th inning, no within 1. Nate Norberry puts it through the gap for the RBI single. Game is tied once again. Then Logan Carmichael grounds out, but that'll be enough to send Norberry home. That ends up being the winning run. Carthage battles past Monette 9-8. In the nightcap, it's Carl Junction, also trying for a 2-0 start, facing Mount Vernon. The bottom of the second, base is loaded for Mount Vernon. Jacob Leeper gets a 2-out hit. 2 score for the Mountaineers. They take a 3-2 advantage. Now in the 4th, Carl Junction ties it up. Arlen Wakefield, nice bunt there. Throw to first, gets away. Logan X scores. Now this was a back and forth game, kind of like the first one. Jarrett Zerby floats it over the infielder's head. RBI single. Gavin Johnston scores. We are tied at 4. Went down to the wire here. Same score in the 7th. Drew Massey pops it up to right. Kyler Perry on 3rd. He will get across, and that's how this one ends. Carl Junction takes it 5-4. Finally, in Southeast Kansas, Pittsburgh High School softball on the road against Chanute tonight in their SEK League opener. All Blue Comets in this one. They win 16-5. Brinley Bancroft gets 4 hits, drives in 4 for Chanute. Camry Naff throws a complete game with 9 strikeouts. That's it for sports. We're back with more news after this.
Take time now to honor a local veteran. Howard Daniels served in the U.S. Army from 1942 to 45. The Altoona, Kansas native was stationed in France and Germany. And we salute Private First Class Howard Daniels, a 4-state hero. Well, robots are constantly evolving, and now they can perform a task common for humans and primates. They can peel a banana. Isn't that appealing? Scientists at the University of Tokyo showed video of their robot peeling the banana in about 3 minutes. Researchers trained the robot in what was termed a deep imitation learning process, where they demonstrated the banana peeling action hundreds of times to produce sufficient data for the robot to learn. So it took them more than 13 hours to train the robot to peel a banana without destroying the fruit at a 57% success rate. So, if you want to wait 3 minutes and have a 57% chance of having a peeled banana, this is the robot for you.
I can peel a banana in about 15 seconds with a 100% success rate.
Wow, that's impressive.
Every now and then I kind of crunch the top up a little bit.
Obviously, this demonstration, it's learning, and there'll be other applications, I'm sure, in the process, I hope.
There you go.
Peeling bananas. Getting cold out there, Doug.
It is chilly tonight, about 38 degrees, 50s over the next couple days. A few sprinkles, random snowflake.
Final sports note.
The Masters tournament begins tomorrow. Tiger Woods, by the way, tees off at 9:34 a.m. our time.
You're not excited about that, are you?
I'll be watching.
Morning show, 5 a.m. Let's make it a great tomorrow.